Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard tactics video. So today's video we will be continuing our basic tactics series. The point of this tactical series is to go through the different weapons that are available to Imperial Guard commanders. The format of the videos tends to be we cover what the weapon actually is, how much it costs in terms of points, its intended battlefield role, its actual battlefield role, and then how you can effectively utilize it within your army. The point of these tactics videos is kind of to give newer players an idea on what they're getting when they're building and painting a certain weapon. Obviously we all go for rule of cool, but it's also good to know that what we're putting our money into is actually a worthwhile weapon for the edition that we're playing in. Now, it's also good for, I should say, for the more experienced commanders, because I do like to bring up some sort of hidden tactics that I have come up with in sort of throughout 8th edition. A good example of this is with the grenade launchers when I talked about using them in veteran squads. I don't think a lot of people have considered that. If you haven't watched the grenade launcher video, go and check it out. It'll be very similar to this one, but it does cover that weapon system. So, yes, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, the flamethrower is the last of our budget weapon systems. Now, what do I mean by the budget weapon? It's basically, it's cheap and it's cheerful. It's not super powerful, but it is pretty easy to get your hands on, both in terms of points, you can easily fit them into your list, and also in terms of building and modelling them. I think you get 2 or 3 flamethrowers. Was it 2 or 4 flamethrowers? I'm not sure. In every Imperial Guard infantry box set. Pretty much, I don't think you can buy an infantry box set with its command squad or the basic squad without getting a flamethrower of some kind. So they're common weapons. Now, the flamethrower is the more expensive of the budget weapon systems. It is 7 points. The sniper rifle was 2, the grenade launcher was 5 points. The flamethrower is 7 points, so that is more expensive than previous editions. In previous editions, it was only 5 points, but now it's 7. So, for your relatively modest 7-point investment, what are you getting? Well, you're getting a assault D6 weapon. Now, which is strength 4, and as the special rule, automatically hits your opponent. So what does that mean? Well, it's got an 8-inch range as well. It's very short ranged. You know, to compare it to other budget weapon systems, the sniper rifle is a 36-inch range, and the grenade launcher is a 24-inch range. So the flamethrower has 8 inches. That's basically point blank. That's within rapid fire range of your other weapons. Now, what the flamethrower essentially allows you to do is you roll a single dice, and that is the number of automatic hits you get against your target. You do not have to roll to hit. You roll a d6, let's say you get a 4, you then go straight onto the wound roll. You take 4 dice, you try and wound the enemy. Does that make sense? You don't have to roll to see how many shots you get, and then roll to see if you hit, and then roll to see if you wound. You just roll to see how many automatic hits you get. You then hit them automatically, and then you roll to wound. So if you roll a dice, you got a 4, you would get 4 automatic hits. You wouldn't have to roll to hit, you just have to roll to wound. And then obviously your enemy would get the armor save and so on and so forth. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, so that is the flamethrower. That's how much it costs, and that's what it does. Now, its intended battlefield role is for clearing out light infantry. It's traditionally within 40k, it used to have the rule ignores cover, so your opponent couldn't get any kind of cover save against the flamethrower. And traditionally, it used to have an AP value that would ignore 5+ armor save. So it was traditionally very good at clearing out infantry from cover. It's a good weapon to have as a guardsman trying to attack a position that was being held by the likes of, trying to think of a good example now, Tyranids or Orcs or something, you know, some light infantry. It's also good, obviously, and other guardsmen, I should say, Now, that's what it used to be good at. Its new weapon profile is lackluster, unfortunately. It no longer ignores cover. So if you're shooting a Space Marine in cover with this weapon, he's still getting a 2+ save. It's not really very good at digging him out of cover. It's also, now it can be more difficult to get the number of shots that you want, the number of hits that you want. So it used to have a template. It used to have a template that was like a teardrop shape. And you could use template to cover as many of the enemy squad as you want. So if there was 10 men in the enemy squad and they were all bunched up, you might be able to get 10 hits. Now, the maximum you can get is 6, and the average you get is 3. So let's take a look at the flamethrower relative to other weapons in 40k. It is essentially an 8-inch range random shot bolter. That is it. Now, yes, you do automatically hit, but would you say it's worth 7 points to get D6 bolter shots? I'm not convinced it is. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the flamethrower in 8th edition. I know it has its uses, and I know against certain armies it's very powerful, but it's no longer a reliable weapon. Now, some people will say, well, the good thing about the D6 is it doesn't matter if there's 20 people in the enemy squad or there's 1 person in the enemy squad. If there's only 1 person, you could roll a 6, and that's 6 hits you get against 1 model. That's great. Yeah, kind of, but that's looking at the flamethrower in the wrong way. The flamethrower shouldn't be good at absolutely caning 1 guy. The flamethrower should be good at burning a whole swath of the enemy, a whole horde of the enemy. So the flamethrower has gone from being an anti-horde weapon. So we talked about its intended battlefield role. Now we're talking about its actual battlefield role. Flamethrower has gone from being an anti-horde weapon to kind of an anti-lone ranger weapon. If there's like 1 guy in an enemy squad, you just need to 4 saves on him. It can be quite good, but the problem with that is if you're shooting a 1-man unit, you've either done a lot of damage to them already, or 1-man unit or few or small number units, they tend to be elite infantry. And the flamethrower isn't very good at killing elite infantry. It has no AP value. It's only got a strength of 4. Most elite infantry are toughness 4 or 5. So if you get your 4 hits, you're only going to get 2 wounds. And against a Space Marine tactical squad, you've got no guarantee of killing any of them. You see what I mean? It's not great. If you did 3 wounds, maybe there's a chance you'd kill 1, math hammer wise, but it's not great. So that's looking at the flamethrower on its own, a single flamethrower in a vacuum. Now we're going to look at where we would use flamethrowers in our armies. They're not good for Imperial Guard infantry squads. They're just not. Okay, if you're going to take a special weapon and you have a choice between a flamer and a grenade launcher, I'd probably say the grenade launcher is the better bet, especially with the AP system, especially with the new wounding system. Okay, where flamethrowers shine is when they can be levied en masse. Now, it is possible to do this with multiple infantry squads. If you've got an enemy assault unit that's barreling down on you, it can be quite good. If you've got a platoon, we're talking 30 guys, and you can get into that sweet 8-inch range. You put the first rank fire, second rank fire down on them. You chuck the flamethrower in there as well, or 3 flamethrowers even. You can do quite a number to, let's say, like an orc boy mob or a tyrannid gaunt mob. Because that's D6 shots, you should get 3 to 4 hits with each flamethrower. You're looking at about 10 hits. That's pretty good. So the flamethrower only really becomes good when you can levy it en masse, when you can bring significant flamethrower bodies to bear. Now, there is one, like we've covered, you can do it with infantry squads. Okay. The other way you can do it is with special weapon teams. Okay, now special weapon teams are an elite choice. Ever since the platoon got broken up, special weapon teams are an elite choice, but they only cost you 24 points. Okay, and that gets you 6 guardsmen, 3 of which can take flamethrowers, or any special weapon for that matter. But in this case, 3 of them could take flamethrowers. So for 20, so rather than buying 3 individual infantry squads and then putting flamethrowers on each one, if you're really looking for some kind of counter-attack Bernie unit, you want to be looking at the special weapons squad. A couple of 6-man special weapons squads in a Chimera, you can jump those guys out 9 inches and flame the balls off your opponent. Because the advantage, okay, so we've been a bit harsh with the flamethrower, we're coming back around now, we're coming down to be fair on it. The advantage of the flamethrower is that you get D6 shots whether the enemy is 1 inch away or max range 8 inches away. So in the past, you would have had to get really close to your opponent to make sure you got all the enemies you wanted under that template. Now you don't need to worry about that. Now you can be on maximum 8 inch range and everyone's getting D6 hits. So that's an advantage of the flamethrower, and that's why if you put a couple of cheap special weapon squads, it's going to set you back, what, 51 points times 2, 102 points. You put those in a Chimera, you're looking at a unit that can jump out 9 inches and then can flamethrow another 8 inches. That's a 17 inch effective range. That's 6d6 strength 4 shots. That strength 4 hits. That is enough to generally bring most horde units to death. Things like Kroot, which aren't massive, you don't really see Kroot around anymore, but Kroot, but especially Orc boy units, which are going to be running at you, and Tyrannid small bugs. That is even kind of effective against a Space Marine like tactical squad, but not as effective, and you're rarely going to get your lines stormed by tactical squads. Tactical squads like to sit back, hug cover, and take pot shots. I'm not saying people can't be aggressive with tactical squads, but we're talking in generalizations here. So that's how you can make the flamethrower effective. I would not use the flamethrower in veteran squads or command squads. Okay, I mean you can kind of make it work on veteran squads because you could take a heavy flamer and 3 regular flamers, and then you could take like shotguns, and if you got within that 6 inch range, you just have an unholy amount of strength 4 shots. But you're not taking advantage of the veterans' main advantage, which is the fact they're ballistic skill 3+. So avoid on units like that. So that's ideally, you've only really got 2 choices: your basic infantry squad and your special weapon squad. Anything with the ballistic skill 3+, you really want to be levying some of the more elite weapon packages with them. Now, the final thing I want to say, which some people will throw out there, is the flamethrower and Overwatch. So because the flamethrower automatically hits, on paper it looks like quite a good weapon for stopping enemy charges, because unlike other Overwatch where you hit on 6+, the flamethrower automatically hits, so you get D6 automatic hits against your opponent. Let me tell you, if your opponent is charging you, it is rare that a single flamethrower will make the difference. Okay? 2 flamethrowers, 3 flamethrowers, that'll make a difference. But the problem is that if you're running, let's say, basic infantry squads, and someone charges your basic infantry squad with a dedicated close combat unit, a single flamethrower isn't really going to be enough to deter that. Likewise, if you've got a special weapons squad and your opponent is, assaulting your lines, what the opponent will probably do is they'll just shoot the special weapons squad to death first. They'll just clear it away because it's only 6 guys, so it's relatively small, relatively easy to get out of the way, and then you can get into your other units. So yeah, but what weapons does the flamethrower really pair well with? Well, unfortunately, it kind of doesn't. It kind of is a lone ranger kind of thing. It needs to be used with other flamethrowers. As we've discussed, with all of these budget weapon systems, grenade launchers, sniper rifles, and now flamers, taking them in on individual bases isn't really enough. you need to levy them in large numbers, because one flamethrower won't really make its points back. And in a lot of times, because of its short range, it may not ever get fired in a single game. But if you take 4 or 5 flamethrowers, you'll generally be able to get your points back. But not quite as easily as the other 2 budget weapons. It's just slightly too expensive. It's 7 points. Now, grenade launchers, and because of the way they work, if you take 10 of them, that costs you 50 points. All you need to do with those 10 grenade launchers is kill 3-4 Space Marines, you get your points back. It's harder to do that with flamethrowers. It's harder to do that, because flamethrowers tend to, unlike grenade launchers, will be firing every single turn because they've got a long enough range. Flamethrowers, because they're short range, because of the nature of the weapon, you'll generally get one good burst off with them before the squad's at close range, and then they just die. Like the enemy counter will just kill you. So I don't think flamethrowers are a particularly good weapon system. Okay, I'm not a fan of them. I mean, it's a joke. People say, oh, you can use them to shoot down flyers with, because technically they automatically hit flyers. Yeah, no, like, flyers are really -1 to hit these days. If you want to hit flyers, just take a veteran squad or a tank commander, and he'll be hitting on 4s anyway, and you'll probably be able to pick that flyer clean out the sky. So flamethrowers, base flamethrowers, not a huge fan, unfortunately. If I was a guard commander starting out and I'd bought my starter collecting set, I'd probably consider grenade launchers instead. Okay, because grenade launchers are a good weapon. They're not fantastic, but they're good, and they're reliable, and they've been unchanged for 5-6 editions now. So they're a good, solid, safe weapon. The flamethrower is cool. Okay, it is a cool weapon, and rule of cool must always be taken into account. And they can be made to work. You can drop people out of Valkyries. You can jump people out of Chimeras. You can do things with them that can make them okay. But it's just, you often have to make flamethrowers work. You often have to invest in some kind of delivery system. And then that kind of defeats the point of the flamethrower as a budget weapon. If you're having to buy a Chimera or 2 or a Valkyrie or 2 just to get your flamethrowers into position, are you sure you wouldn't have been better off spending those points on things like more plasma guns, more grenade launchers, more las cannons? Ask yourself that seriously. It's difficult to use the grenade launcher to... I think it's more of a counter-attack weapon. Okay, I feel like it's one of those things where the enemy gets close to you, or if you're fighting over an objective that's sort of in your lines, you can jump out and counter-attack the flamethrower. I don't really see it as a take the flamethrower and march up the field kind of weapon, because you'll struggle to get into range and often you'll die before you get to use it. So, hope this video makes sense. I hope it's been useful and informative. If you have any opinions on the flamethrowers, please leave lots of comments. As always, I like to read these comments. Am I right? Am I wrong? Please tell me. Remember, we're talking about flamethrowers here from an Imperial Guard point of view, so there might be other factions out there which can make much better use of the flamethrower, but I'm talking about Imperial Guard, okay? So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.